Hello guys, you're welcome back to this Django series. Last time we were able to work on our backend, and today we are going to focus on our front end where the user is going to see all our posts, and I'm going to try to add image again to our post this time. So I'm going to do a lot of things. I'm going to work on my models.py, I'm going to work on admins.py, views.py, and how to add image, how to add our HTML file, and a lot more. So I'm not going to waste much time introducing myself. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to add more fields to our models that we have here. So first I'm going to add the image field. I'm going to say image, which is going to be equals to models dot image field, and then it's going to have a parameter upload to, which is going to contain the directory where I want to upload my image to. I think the directory should be images slash like this, and then I need again date on when the post was created, so I'm going to say created on, which is going to be equal to models dot date time field, which also will have a parameter which is auto now add, sorry, equal to true. So this will help us add date and time to our blog. And then the last one I'm going to add is our categories. But before I do that, I have to create the class category. I'm going to say class, which is going to be equal to category, and then models dot model, and then I'm going to have name and field in it, and it's going to be equal to models dot character field, which has maximum length of 64. I think 64 is fine. Then now I'm going to use, I think I should define the return statement first. So that string function, so the parameter as usual, and then I'm going to return our self.name there. So here I want to use the category, I want to include it into my post, just like, I don't know, just like, so that when I post I'll be able to select a category where the post that I post belong. So I'm going to add it, and then in one post you can select as many category as you want. So I'm going to use many to many. So I'm going to say category here equal to models dot many to many. So this will help us use many to many field. So one post can have 2, 3, or as many categories as available. And then category field, that's the many to many where it's going to come from, and then the related name. I'm going to set it to category. And I believe that's all I have to do here. And if you notice again, I just changed this to return only title. And then I believe that's all. And you remember from our last class, after we have done something like this, we have to make migration and migrate this so that it could take effect. So I'm going to make migration now. Python manage.py make, I think they should be together, make Python manage.py make migrations 1. Then I'm going to enter time zone, that's to use, so I'm going to enter time zone dot now to use my current time zone. And then after the make migration, then I have to migrate. Then Python manage.py migrate, and I have successfully migrated. So I'm going to take my image back. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to include my category into my admin. I'm going to go to admin, and then I'm going to say post and category. That's what I want to import, not just post. then I'll say admin dot site dot register category to there, and then I'm going to work on my view now. So in the view now, I'm going to define what I want to see. Let's say def index, just like we did in the first video, and then I'm going to request, and then I'm going to return. But before I return things, I have to like import my models, which I'm going to use. Let's say from dot models import post, because I'll be using post here, and then I can return render now, which is the HTML, and then request, and then the directory of my HTML, which I've not yet created, but I'm going to create it later, so I can see blog slash index.html. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a dictionary, and that dictionary is going to represent our post. Although let's say the key is going to be equal to post ruler, and then it's going to be post dot objects dot all. And I believe you already know what this is now. So this will get all the posts from me, all the fields in the post, everything about the post from me. So with this post now, this is the key that I'm going to use in my HTML to access all the values in my post object.all. I'm going to save this now. I have to like create my index.html now, called template now. And then in the template folder, I'm going to create another folder called blog. And then inside the blog folder, I'm going to create my file index.html. But in the Django, there is one feature that we have in the Django. We can inherit some HTML content from other HTML content, which we can call the layout. So we can just be using the layout and then putting our body in the layout. And to do that, here I have to create another HTML file called layout.html. And then in the layout, I could just define all the basic things I'm going to need, so that each time I want to create HTML file, I don't have to like define them over and over again. I think the title is going to be all the same, blog. It has to be capital letter. And then here, I'm going to say something like blog body and blog. So inside this my blog body, that's where my HTML is going to, my content is going to be. But I'm not going to use it here. This is just the layout I'm going to use in my index. So to use this layout, I'm going to extend it or get it from there. I'm going to say extend, then I'm going to put the directory here, blog slash layout.html, and then that's all. So this will enable me to use the layout from my layout.html file here. Then here I'm going to define everything I need in my HTML. But before I do that, remember I have to put it in my blog body. I'm going to say blog body and then end block and block. I can come inside here and then I would say I want to use my for loops here, so like I can get all the post or the elements in the post just to test my work and see if it's working. So I can say something like for but it has to be in this form to use for loop, and then for, and you have to end the for loop too, which also has to be in the same form. and for, so I have to like do this sometimes so that I won't forget. And then you can come and say for post in posts. Remember, we already have our post here from our view. So this is the post that we are talking about. So I'll go back to my HTML. So for post in post, then have post as title. So I just want to get the title of the post if there is a post in post. I'm going to save this now, and then I'm going to go to my URLs, which I think I don't have URLs for now. I'm going to create a URL file in my blog. URLs dot file, and then in the URLs, I'm just going to import Django dot URLs. Sorry, I think it should be like this, from Django dot URLs import path, then from dot import views, because I'll be using my views here, and then URL pattern, which is going to be set to a list here, and I'm going to say path, and then in the path I'm going to specify the directory or the URL where I have to like visit before I could see what is available in my views. I'm going to make this a default directory, a default for now, the first one. Then this I'm going to say views dot or index, which is this that we have here in our views, and then comma. Then I'm going to give it name, which we are going to use later, index. So if I save this, I believe that's all. I could see my page, but I have one more thing to do. I have to include my URL in my project URLs. So I have to go to blog project here, and then look for urls.py, and then you see we have something similar to what we just did, but we have to include our URL. So I'm going to say part2, and then I'm going to put it in the default path so that instead of seeing the reject telling you welcome, you have successfully installed the Django, then you'll be seeing our app rather. So, and here I'm going to include all the URLs. There's every possibility that you can add even a single URL here, but that will not be professional. So we'll just add all our URLs in that our URL file that we created, and then we include all of it here at once, to like make it look professional. So now I'm going to include them, and I'm going to use the URL part, which is blog.urls. And because I'm using this external module here, I have to import it as well. I'm going to import include, and I believe everything is set now. So let me try to like run my app. Python manage.py run server, and then this is the URL we are going to visit. I think blog body has an issue. We did something wrong. So I think we wrongly used the body block. So let's go back to our HTML. Did not even save this. So go back to our HTML. And I think the body block should have this rather. I'm going to save this now. I'm going to rerun, and then you see that we got the title of our page now, techie. So for example, now if I want to get the body, I will just say post dot body, and then save, refresh, And then you see we have our body here, but I think I should add a line break. And this is it. So one more thing I have to do is I want to like include the image that I'm going to use. But right now, let me try to go back to my admin and try to like add image. Then I'll go to post, and then in the post, I'll see add image here, and then I'll go and look for image I want to add, and I've included it, but it won't work now, and you can see we don't have anything in our category. So I can also add new category. I can call it car, and I can add as many categories as I want. I can call this tech. So I have two categories now, but I just want to use one. So I'll just select one now. I believe everything is fixed, and then I'll just click on save. But you'll see that when we go back to our blog, there's no image. There was no image returned. So using image in the Django is a bit complicated. So type pip. So to use image, you type pip install pillow, and that will enable you to like use image. And then I've already installed it, so I don't have to like install it again. So the next thing you are going to do is go to your setting, which is the main setting of our project. And then you can see we now have a file images here with one image because we just added one image. And then let's go to settings.py, which is our project settings.py. Then you go down to here, so that will include our URLs. So I will say media URL in capital letter, equal to the address of my image, which is images, not in capital letter, images, and then dash. I think that's what I used. So that's correct, images. And then there's one more thing I have to do. I have to go to my project URL as well. So inside my project URL here, then I have to import some couple of stuff. So from the Django.conf, import settings, and then from the Django.com.urls.static, import static. So I just imported the settings that I changed, and as well I imported the statics here too, so that we can use them. And then under you are going to do one thing again, add this plus sign, and then type these codes inside. They are going to like enable us to like use the image as well as other static file like our CSS plus static, and then settings dot media URL document root equal to settings dot media capital letter media root. So I believe this is what you basically need to like run an image or include an image in your web. So I'm going to like save this now, and then I'm going to like start my server and then see if everything worked fine. I think there's something missing from the Django static, import static. Oh, I forgot to spell my Django properly. I have to like add n here. And then, oh, I made another typo. I used to make a lot of typos sometimes. So I think everything is working fine now. So I have to just go and visit my URL again. And then I have my post. So let me go back to my admin. And then I'm going to go back to the post. And this tag here is the only post I have for now. So if I try to like click on this post now, you see that I can see a picture now. But earlier now, without doing what I just did, you will not see a picture. So once I like choose another picture, or once I even leave the picture like that, but let me just select another image and then click open. Then it will be included here, and then I'll go and save it. Then I'm going to go back to my post and it still returns something like this. But I still have to like make some adjustments in my HTML. So I'm going to go back to my index.html, which is this place, and then let me just break as well, or let's say under here, I'm going to say post dot image dot URL. So I want to get the image URL. Let's see if this is going to work. I think I have to add another break here so that everything will not be on the same line. So save this, go back and refresh. Then you see I'm getting the image URL now. So I can now reuse the image URL to like make the image appear by using this image and image search. I'll just include this in my image search. Got it. And I don't need an alternative. I'll just save this now. And then I'll try to go back and refresh. And voila, you can see we now have an image, we now have our title, and we now have our body. So the next time I'm going to try to like populate my blog with a lot of body, and I have to like add new title to make it look more professional and to make it look more real. So I believe you too can do that as first of all, your admin, try to like add more posts and add more meaningful stuff to see how it's going to look. So I believe with this, the next thing I'm going to do in my tutorial is to add a comment so that after you view a particular post, you can comment under it. Thank you and see you in my next tutorial.